And welcome to another brand new episode of This Week in Disney History. I am your host, Milo Beasley. And I've gotten a couple more hours of sleep from last episode, but not much. But that's what comes with trying to raise a tiny human. So why don't we go ahead and jump right into what happened this week in Disney history. We're going to start with August 30th, because I think that's where we left off. August 30th. 1936, already starting things back in our Wayback Machine. The very first comic strip devoted entirely to Donald Duck Mason's debut. We don't really have, we have comic strips, but nobody reads them anymore. But we have comic books, and Donald has his own comic book. So it's kind of the same thing. August 30th, 2014 sees the very last show of American Idol at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Now would have probably been a good time to do research to see if anybody who won at the parks made it to the television show. And now it's awkward, so I'm just going to go ahead and move on to August 31st. So August 31st, 1938. Following the success of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Walt and Roy Disney put a $10,000 deposit on some land on Buena Vista Street for a brand new studio. I guess time will tell if that was the right decision or not. I don't. Seems like a lot of money in the middle of nowhere. Speaking of a lot of money, this date, August 31st, 2009, the Walt Disney Company announces a $4 billion with a B, $4 billion acquisition of the Marvel Company. Of course, now I get to go on Marvel Day at Sea, go to the upcoming Marvel Hotel at Disneyland Paris, the new Marvel land at Disneyland. Yeah, it makes sense. And dollars. Dad jokes. I got them. I got it. They come like as soon as the baby comes, you get a manual with a bunch of dad jokes. Also on this date, August 30th, 2014, I ran the Disneyland Half Marathon. It was my very first Disneyland Half Marathon. In fact, it was my very first trip out to California to visit Disneyland. So a very cool way to see the parks. So yeah, this also would have been a cool time for me to have my medal to be like, look, you don't really get much time to prepare for this thing in between feedings and changing. So September 1st, 2000, the greatest Disney park ride anywhere in any Disney park. Winnie the Pooh's Hunting Hunt makes a soft opening, allowing fans to ride for the very first time. Now it would officially open 3 days later on September 4th, but September 1st, 2000 is when basically the greatest ride in the world opened. September 1st, 2005, speaking of Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh's Playful Spot opens at the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World. It's no longer there, but you can hang out there if you want to go ride on the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So, same thing. And finally on the last thing on September 1st, 2019, just last year, the final day for the Rock and Roller Coaster featuring Aerosmith at the Disneyland Paris Resort over at the studios as it makes its way for an Iron Man coaster. See, Disney, Marvel. Moving on to September 2nd, 1979. Big Thunder Mountain officially opens at the Disneyland Park. Woo. September 3rd, 2010. Fishhooks makes its debut on the Disney Channel. You've seen this show before, like this show, not Fishhooks. But if you've seen Fishhooks, Then you know my good friend Dana Snyder does several voices on fish hooks, and you should go watch it. Give him royalties and stuff, so that way he pays for dinner. But we're on September 3rd, 2018 was the last day for Pixar Fest at Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure. But now with Pixar Pier, it's like Pixar Fest like all the time, so that's cool. Moving on to September 4th, we mentioned September 4th, 2000 was the official opening day for Winnie the Pooh's Hunting Hunt at Tokyo Disneyland. But on September 4th, 2001, the greatest theme park on God's green land, the greatest theme park on Earth, you know, in the Milky World, we'll say the greatest theme park in the Milky Way, officially opens. Tokyo Disney Sea officially opens on September 4th, 2001. So happy birthday, anniversary. They do anniversaries. If you don't believe me that it's the greatest theme park, it's because you haven't been there. Anybody who I've ever talked to that has been there has said it is the greatest theme park on Earth. So, and then speaking of Tokyo Disney Sea, same date, September 4th, except 5 years later, 2006, the Tower of Terror at Tokyo Disney Sea opens up to guests. It is a different version than what is seen in Orlando and Anaheim. Of course, Anaheim changed to the Star-Lord Doctor thing, right? Star-Lord Tower, Tower of Star-Lord. But it's different, and I actually like it better. There's a little, I mean, I don't really understand the story. It's like a invisible thing. It's like a demon, but it's cool. It's scary. I think followed me home. Where are we at? We're still on September 4th, 2016, guys. The jokes don't get any better. In fact, they don't get any worse. They just plateau. Where are we at? September 4th, 2016, the second and last time I ran the Disneyland half marathon in Disneyland. So a lot of fun. I wish they still did races out there. I prefer them. I got to run through Angel Stadium. I got to run out by the Honda Center. I think I ran by the thing where Grease was filmed. I don't know. It is crazy out there. So we're going to go ahead and move on. We're going to run to September 5th. 1927, a huge day in Disney history. It is the debut of Trolley Troubles, which is the very first Oswald cartoon to be produced. So, fans of Oswald, this is your day. Celebrate. Throw up all your pictures of Oswald on the socials, and I will like them all. I mean, if you tag me, because I might not know that you watched this, got inspired by Oswald, and then posted it without tagging me. So, September 5th, 1994, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea has a temporary closure at Magic Kingdom. 26 years later, and it still hasn't opened up. So, any day now. And then September 5th, we're still there, right? 2016 was the last day of the 60th anniversary celebration of Disneyland. And I was there to celebrate the last day of a celebration. It's kind of awkward. But I was also there on the first day. So I was there on the first day of the celebration and the last day of the celebration. And all the days in between don't really matter. So this is that's it. So thanks for watching this week in Disney history. Please do the cool thing. Subscribe, follow, like, share, do all those cool things. I would super, super appreciate it. I promise you I will get more rest and the content will be better. So again, thanks for watching this week in Disney history, and I'll see you next week for this week in Disney history.